What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of the Too Savage for Democrats show. My name is Dylan, and I am your host, and it is Labor Day, but we're still doing an episode because it is Monday, and I want to get all of them out for the week, so hope you guys have a fantastic Labor Day. Hope you guys are doing some fun stuff with the family, maybe doing a cookout, something like that. Comment down below. Let me know what you're doing, but without further ado, let's get on to the show. All right, so Hillary Clinton always says she wants to be a continuation of Obama. You know, that's her way of kind of comforting the public, right, is by saying that she wants to kind of continue what Obama's been doing and all that. You know, she wants to say, hey, look, guys, there's not going to be much change. If you elect Trump, there's going to be all this change. You got to be scared of Donald Trump. You know, she wants to scare you into believing that if you vote for Donald Trump, so much is going to change that nothing's ever going to be the same again. Everything's going to be, you know, she's trying to scare you into voting for her. So she's saying, if you vote for me, everything's going to be the same. We're going to be doing the same stuff as Obama. It's all going to be good. Well, remember that comment, how she said she was going to put coal miners out of business? Yeah. And she made that comment. That created a lot of tension in coal country because they're not very happy with that, obviously. I'm sure they like having jobs, unless they're Democrats. Just kidding. But I'm sure they like having jobs. And so they were not too happy about that comment on coal. So Hillary Clinton says she wants to continue Obama. Well, let's just take a look at the numbers on how Obama has done with coal and coal jobs under the Obama administration, just to look at proof, just so some of the people, you know, maybe if you're listening and you work in the coal industry or you know someone that works in the coal industry, they could maybe learn from this, because I think this is something that they need to watch out for Hillary Clinton, because there are going to be many jobs at stake if Hillary Clinton wins regarding coal. Because you got to remember, these donors to Obama and to Hillary Clinton, they are all against coal. And as you know, a lot of these politicians, including Obama and including Hillary Clinton, are tied to their donors, because their donors give them so much money during the campaign that they really have no choice but to do whatever they ask them to do in the election. So let's take a look at some of these Obama coal numbers, and I think you're going to be pretty surprised. So I'm reading this from the Daily Caller. This Labor Day, America has 83,000 fewer coal jobs and 400 coal mines than it did when Barack Obama was elected in 2008, showing that the president has followed through on his pledge to bankrupt the coal industry. So remember, that was his thing too. Hillary Clinton and Barack Obama are very similar, and they're both like Marxist, crazy, radical leftist loons who want to destroy this country and turn us into a socialist state. That's exactly what they want. I mean, if you look at Obamacare's crumbling, right, and one of the chief architects of Obamacare, along with Barack Obama and some other people, they have now been, and this is kind of, I'm digressing right now, but they have kind of been preparing to take polls to see if a single payer option or a public option would be good. So there's another thing right there, and that's just trying to turn it into a socialist state as well. But Hillary's doing the same thing. So remember, he ran on trying to destroy coal jobs as well. This wasn't just Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton didn't just create the whole let's get rid of the coal jobs thing. Democrats have been pushing for this sort of thing for years. I mean, this is something that they support, and Obama has really been pushing for it. I mean, what was the number there? 83,000 coal jobs. So a 2015 study found that the coal industry lost 50,000 jobs from 2008 to 2012 during Obama's first term. During Obama's second term, the industry employment in coal mining has fallen another 33,000 jobs, 10,900 of which occurred in the last year alone. So it's clearly ramping up, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, this is clearly getting to a peak, right? It's plateauing. I don't know if it's going to stop. I don't know where it's going to plateau. Let's hope it doesn't plateau, because these people need jobs. I mean, these coal miners, these people who work in the mines, this is what they do for a living. This is their wheelhouse, you know? And so to take these jobs away from them, especially when it helps the economy as much as it does, especially in those states. If you look at these states that are within coal country, where they have a large population of coal miners, it really helps the economy there. I mean, it does. You can look at the facts. And so we shouldn't just be firing these people out of the blue. So I get a little drink there. And beyond that, Obama doesn't have any replacement jobs. He's firing these people from the jobs, but he has zero replacement jobs for these people. It's like, all right, you're done working there. You're not working there anymore. Okay, bye. And they're like, well, can I work at all? Do I get any other job? No. Like, he doesn't have any replacement jobs for these guys. They're stuck. If you lose your job as a coal miner in America, with a Democrat as a president, the jobs are depleting. They're all getting outsourced. Obama doesn't care about the jobs, the job market. He likes to say the unemployment rate's higher than it is. It's pretty bad. It's like, what is it, 4.9 or something, 4 point something unemployment rate is what they say it is. But those are government statistics, so those are clearly not true. You need to look at the actual job numbers because they like to not include people that aren't looking. So if you're not looking for a job, you're not even included in that unemployment percentage if you've just given up and stopped looking. And all the people on welfare and everything like that. So they're trying to keep that number low. But anyway, if you lose your job in the coal mining industry, you're screwed. You're screwed. And Hillary Clinton wants to continue this. Absolutely, she wants to continue this. And that's why I don't understand why people, especially in coal country, if people in Pennsylvania, if people in coal country vote for Hillary Clinton, after hearing her say that she's going to put coal miners out of business, if they don't vote for Trump, then I don't know what they're thinking. They deserve to lose their job. If you vote for Hillary Clinton, if that'd be like if someone came, walked into a hospital and said, I am going to rid all doctors of jobs in the United States. And then the doctors hear them say that and then vote for them anyway. That's how stupid it is. Because then if you lose your job, you voted for it. I mean, what do you want? What do you expect? I mean, I just don't understand why you would vote for Hillary Clinton as a coal miner or as someone in the coal industry, because she's trying to destroy it. We're going to put a lot of coal miners out of business. Shut up. But yeah, Obama's been horrible with them. Coal mining employs 69,460 Americans. That's according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, which isn't that bad. It's quite a few jobs. Much of the blame for the job loss is targeted at federal regulations aimed at preventing global warming, which caused coal power plants to go bankrupt, resulting in a sharp decline in the price of coal. There's always this global warming nonsense where the government comes in with their quote-unquote settled science, right? Which is complete bullcrap. I could do a whole show on just how global warming is just the government's way of expanding the government, of expanding their power, but that's for another show. Remember the Keystone Pipeline. We had that as well. As we know, these global warming measures they put into place aren't always in the best interest of the people, or always in the best interest, or really, they don't really do anything. So like we had the Alaskan Pipeline, which is safer than transporting oil by train, by the way. It's been proven. And it was also proven numerous times that the Keystone Pipeline was environmentally sound, and it would be fine for the environment. Well, because of the environmental people that donated to Obama's campaign that gave him money, we can't do the Keystone Pipeline. So now we don't have a Keystone Pipeline. Now China is in a deal to get the Keystone Pipeline, so they're going to get it. Because we're idiots, and we have stupid leaders who let things slip like that. I mean, come on. It would have been great for the country. It would have created a lot of jobs temporarily, but still. Temporary jobs are better than no jobs. But yeah, I mean, the Democrats have been horrible. I'm not going to rant on this the whole show. But Democrats are horrible. They're horrible for coal miners. And if you're a coal miner or you know someone in the coal mining industry, don't vote for Hillary Clinton. And don't allow whoever you know in the coal mining industry to vote for Hillary Clinton, because that's just asking to lose your job. That's asking to not have a job in the future. So if that's what you want, if you don't want to work, then that's fine. Vote for Hillary Clinton. But if you do want to work, I'd advise voting for Trump. But anyway, let's move on with the show because we got a lot more stories to cover as the show moves on this wonderful Labor Day here on September 5th, 2016. And I just want to put a word in really quick and let you guys know that this episode of the Too Savage for Democrats show is brought to you by the H is Silent in Benghazi shirt. Now, a lot of people are buying up these shirts. Last time we did the show, I said that it was also brought to you by the shirt because it is. We got a few more days left on the campaign, so everybody should go pick one of these shirts up. I think you guys are really going to like them. The design is awesome. You know, I'm really proud of these shirts, so make sure you click the link down in the bio and pick up one of the H is Silent in Benghazi shirts. You're really going to enjoy it. So anyway, let's move on. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so we have talked numerous times on this show about how Donald Trump is reaching out to African-American groups, how he's trying to get the African-American vote, because there's a lot of Republicans who have run for office who don't even try. They don't even bother trying to get the African-American vote. It's kind of like, there's this whole mentality in the Republican Party, and with a lot of the candidates that, oh, well, the Democrats have won the Republican vote, or the black vote so many times that we don't even need to worry about it. We shouldn't even try to focus on these people. In fact, a lot of Republicans will actually try to make up for that black vote by just getting a bunch of whites, right? Like that's their way of making up for the fact that they aren't getting as many black votes. They just want to get a bunch of white people to vote for them. My mic is all over the place. But apparently, Donald Trump has decided to do differently. And at first, when he started doing this, when he started having this whole African-American outreach thing, I was like, I don't know if this is going to work. This may look stupid because he's taking a risk. If you're showing up at all these, these black churches and all this thing, it looks a little weird, but Donald Trump has been doing it. And, I have to say it's been working, and Hillary Clinton isn't likable. So if in any election we're going to take a large portion of the African-American support, it's going to be this one, right? Because you've got a Democrat who is not liked by other Democrats. She's not very popular. Granted, Donald Trump isn't very popular either. But, I'm thinking I'm starting to see some hope with this whole Trump getting the African-American vote thing. So Democratic pollster finds Clinton struggling with black votes. Now, this is on the Daily Caller, but there's a pollster, and that's the headline, right? Democratic pollster finds Clinton struggling with black votes. Now, when I first read that, I was like, holy mackerel. Like, whatever Donald Trump's been doing is working really well. But let's read into this. Focus groups of black voters put together by a Democratic pollster found that Hillary Clinton is underperforming among black voters. Now, this is something that you never hear. This is something that does not happen, right? Democrats don't do badly with black votes. Democrats are supposed to win, just like I said at the beginning. They've been doing it for years. There's that famous Lyndon Johnson quote, President Johnson. I'll have those N-words voting Democrat for the next 200 years. When he started the Great Society. And a lot of people don't think that's an actual quote. You can look it up. And Hillary Clinton just figured she could just waltz into the presidential race, not do any press conferences, lie to the American people, talk about kicking people out of work and continuing the policies of Barack Obama that have been horrible to black communities around the United States, and expect just to get the vote. Like, they just expect that these people, these minority groups, like the African Americans, aren't going to realize that the position that the Democrats are putting them in suck. I did a whole video about this before, but let's keep reading the story. The focus groups were organized by Cornell Belcher of Brilliant Corner Research and Strategy. Belcher previously worked as a pollster for the Democratic National Committee. He found that Hillary Clinton is underperforming with black votes in key states. This is the important part. In key states such as Ohio and Florida and etc. And they didn't feel compelled to vote for her out of disdain for Donald Trump. This is how the American people feel, ladies and gentlemen. This is how they feel. Don't listen to CNN. Don't listen to MSNBC. Don't listen to all this bull crap. This is what they feel, right? Because Donald Trump may say mean things. Donald Trump may offend people, but Hillary Clinton is a lying criminal sack, and we don't want her to win. Listen to this quote. Some didn't see why they should not like Trump. Quote, I see why Hispanics are scared of him because he is attacking their family. Don't necessarily agree with that, but let's roll with it. But I don't understand why I should be more scared than anybody else, a black Florida millennial Obama surge voter said. A black non-college graduate Ohio millennial man said, quote, for the fact they got Hillary against Donald Trump, it's to tell you that it's just the lesser of two evils either way you go. So if you choose Hillary, she was part of the whole problem that started sending blacks to jail. They're talking about the crime bill, right? That whole crime bill that Hillary Clinton had was horrible for the African-American community. But this is, ladies and gentlemen, this is how the American people feel. The media try to tell you that the American people hate Donald Trump and that he's just such a horrible, they try to tell you that he's a horrible person and that no one likes him. But this is how they feel. It's, to a lot of people, this election is, yes, a decision between the lesser of two evils. A lot of people don't like Donald Trump, right? A lot of people don't like Hillary Clinton either. But it really comes down to who's going to do better and who has your best interest in mind. Now, Donald Trump has been going out and outreaching to these people, saying, I'm going to make sure you keep your jobs. I'm going to make sure that we can get you back to work, fix the education of these cities, get jobs back in these cities, things that African-American communities need. He's reaching out. Hillary Clinton's just saying she wants to do more of the same. Remember, she's going to be the third term of Obama. Well, the first two terms of Obama have been horrible for the African-American communities, so why would they want a third term? Now, let's look at some numbers. The polls Belcher conducted of Ohio found Hillary Clinton underperforming Obama in 2012 among black voters by 10%. In Florida, she is behind Obama's 2012 performance by 12%. The gap is more pronounced among black men, 14% in Ohio and 16% in Florida. The polling was conducted in July 2016 while the focus groups took place in August. A note on the side for the Ohio poll says big performance gap with black votes. So Hillary Clinton's not doing too well. She is definitely slipping with the African-American votes. And again, it's because she wants to continue what Obama's been doing. She wants to continue what the Democrats have been doing all these years that have not been helping the African-American communities at all. Just horrible for the African-American communities. Donald Trump he's actually spent time speaking with these people in these communities and saying, what do you guys need? What do you need to help you? And he's being generous and reaching out to these groups, and I think it's really paying off. So I don't know. We're going to have to see what happens, but this is all great news for Donald Trump. Like I said, and like that African-American man said in the story, it's not about loving Donald Trump. It's not about thinking that Donald Trump is this angel that's fallen from heaven. Oh, Donald Trump. It's not about that. What it's about is realizing that Hillary Clinton is a criminal. Hillary Clinton is a liar. Hillary Clinton is a horrible person. Donald Trump is rude and offensive, but a good leader will put good people in positions and actually cares about these communities. He wants to fix these communities. And apparently when you spend time one-on-one with Donald Trump, he's not that bad of a person. That's what everyone says that spend time with him. They say he's nice. But anyway, that's just my little bit on this. I just saw that story. I had to throw it in the podcast here today for the segment. But anyway, let's move on with the show because we've got a lot more to cover. And I don't want to waste too much of your guys' time here on this wonderful Labor Day. So let's move on. All right, so we always have these ridiculous statistics about the border control and what they're finding, and there's always that undercover Border Patrol agent that comes out and gives us numbers about just how many people, or I should say just how messed up the system is, right? Because Obama, again, I've said this so many times on the show, I don't even want to say it again, but I'm just going to say it, as a preface to what we're going to talk about. Obama likes when these immigrants come into the country because when they get here, they vote Democrat, right? So he brings them in, gets them on the welfare system, they vote Democrat. That's why he's rushing. And a lot of if you look at the Muslim population, by the way, they tend to vote Democrat, right? It's just how they operate. Most of them vote Democrat. And so that's why he rushed them in here so quickly. October 1st was his deadline. They've already gotten them in. It's the first time the government's ever beaten a deadline in their life. So they get them in all the way over here before the deadline because they want to be able to get all of these Muslims to be voting Democrat in the election. And if you look at the location that they're putting the Muslims, they're trying to set them up so that they do end up voting Democrat. It's a whole thing, and it's horrible. But a Border Patrol agent came out, and, we have concerns about, is the Border Control that's not doing their job? Why is this Muslim thing such a problem? What is going on with the whole situation? Why is it such an issue? And there's often a lot of concern about it. And I've always been concerned because I don't want these people rushing over here illegally. Gary Johnson flipped out and was like, they're coming here because they couldn't get jobs there, blah, 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 and all this crap. But they're still illegal. He flipped out, I think it was on Guy Benson. He was talking in an interview to Guy Benson. And he freaked out because Guy Benson said illegal immigrant. Because that's what they are by definition, right? They're illegal immigrants. But he flipped out. He was like, that's not what they're called. You call them whatever, blah, blah, blah. So Border Patrol agent comes out. 80% of the illegal immigrants captured at the border are set free. What? Just stop and contemplate that for a second. 80% of all the people. So that means there are 80% of the people that come over here. They're caught by Border Patrol, but then the Obama administration and the Democrats say, oh, let them go. 80% of them. I mean, that is a high number, ladies and gentlemen. That's not a messing around. That is a majority. It'd be different if it was 20%, 10%. That means they're sifting through, getting the good ones, letting them in. But 80%, I mean, you're letting in the majority. There's no way that there is not any bad criminals, awful people in that 80%. You can't be vetting that. 80% of the people, that's a lot of people. I don't have exact numbers, but that's a ton of people. A U.S. Border Patrol agent told Fox News Channel that 8 out of 10 illegal immigrants who are captured at the border are initially set free into the United States. Border Patrol agent Hector Garza, acting in his role as president of the National Border Patrol Council, Local 2455, appeared on Fox News Channel recently to discuss the border security and the need for building a wall. He said, quote, 8 out of 10 people that are caught entering our country illegally are not deported and are allowed to stay in the United States. Unfortunately for Border Patrol agents, we are trying to do our jobs as best we can with this very limited resources we have. And Obama, remember, Obama's trying to cut the round of resources that the Border Patrol could have. He has, the Border Patrol numbers are there. We have the agents we need. We could have the resources we need, but the Obama administration is basically saying, no, we're going to squeeze the resources. You're not going to get that. You're not going to get this, whatever, because he wants to make it so as many people can get in as possible so they can keep their Democrat voter number up. I don't know why. Well, actually, I do know why, and I've already explained it in a bunch of different episodes. That's the problem we're running into. So they're basically not allowing these Border Patrol agents to do their jobs because they don't want them to do their jobs. They want these people coming in. Garza expressed frustration at the lack of resources made available to the agents charged with defending the nation's borders. Quote, "We do not have enough vehicles for our agents to patrol with. We do not get the manpower that we need." He continued by discussing the lack of proper infrastructure to safely do their jobs, including communications equipment, tower cameras, and weapons. Quote, "Through executive orders and prosecutorial discretion," sorry, slurred my words there, "most of the people that we apprehend end up getting released into the country," he said while expressing his frustration. He explained that with the limited amount of manpower available, it is very difficult to adequately perform the border. Or patrol the border. So that's a story right there, ladies and gentlemen. And it's just very interesting that Obama and the Democrats aren't willing to do anything about this. They're not going to change it. Hillary Clinton's going to get in office. She's not going to change it. The only person who wants to help the border, and this all comes from a position of nationalism, right? And I'm not talking, every time I mention nationalism, I feel I have to preface it by saying it's not like democratic or not socialist nationalists like Hitler. I'm talking nationalism, like you put the people of your country first and you put your country first before other people. Hillary doesn't believe that. She puts her paycheck first. Obama doesn't believe that. He puts his, likability first. He puts his whatever the special interests want first. Donald Trump is literally a nationalist by nature. Whether he goes out and says it or not, Donald Trump is a nationalist. He does what's best for the American people. And what's best for the American people is what's best for jobs. And it's what's going to help him get elected. Hold on, I got to write this down so I don't remember the segment. Okay, sorry about that. Anyway, he does what's best for the American people. He wants to put the American people first. Hillary has no intention of putting the American people first. She wants to put her paycheck first, the Clinton Foundation first, whatever it may be, favors, and that's been proven through her career. So Donald Trump wants to take legal Hispanic, Americans, white Americans, black Americans, Asian Americans, whatever color, and say your job matters, your life matters, your future matters, your children's future matter, and because you are an American citizen, we are going to give you priority over citizens of other countries. We're not going to bring in all these refugees and we can't vet them and we can't afford to bring them in until we can take care of our own people. That is nationalism, and that is why Donald Trump, I think, is winning, because a lot of people like that. We've had a president, again, Barack Obama is not a nationalist. He doesn't care about the American people. Donald Trump does, and what he's been doing has been proving that over the years, or over the months, I should say. His policy positions and everything like that. So anyway, that's it for the show today on this Labor Day. I'm going to cut it a little bit short. I guess I always cut it a little bit short, but that's just because I try to keep it to a minimal amount of stories. Because I don't want to overwhelm or anything like that, and I'm going to do another one tomorrow. So anyway, that's it for the show today on this Labor Day Monday. I hope you guys had a great Labor Day weekend, spent a lot of time with family, and I hope you guys have, fun going back to work tomorrow. Nobody wants to go back, but we all have to. But anyway, thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will catch up with you guys next time. Bye-bye.